you noticed that the harder you push, the harder your son pushes back? What if, instead of another explanation, another consequence, another argument, one simple shift could completely change the atmosphere? Today, I want to share a lesson that took me years to learn. It's simple. Watching it work in action is pretty amazing. I'll tell you all about what I did and what I learned. Just keep on listening. If you're tired of feeling helpless during your son's meltdowns and isolated by the stress it brings to your family, and you want simple steps to open communication, reduce outbursts, and bring more peace to your home, you're in the right place. Hey, I'm Cynthia, wife and boy mom. I remember having a child who looked typical, but spent hours falling apart at home. I learned how to stay confident during the stress of meltdowns and build connection without resorting to heavy-handed parenting. If you're ready to reduce the meltdowns and aggressive behavior and finally see that what you're doing is actually helping, then grab my hand. I am the mom you've been waiting to meet. I spent many years trying to navigate life with a sparkly, blue-eyed, but explosive little boy. A lot of our family life was put on pause because he had very specific social and sensory needs. He arrived in this world and forced me onto a completely different grid. There wasn't anything mainstream for me to grab a hold of because what worked for other families simply didn't work for him. It was massively disruptive, and it was massively amazing. One of the biggest lessons I learned over the years was this. When emotions were rising, pushing harder almost never helped. But changing the atmosphere often did. Now, before I tell you the story, I want to read you something. It's a quote by an unknown author, and it says this: "No magic here. It's a fundamental shift in the way you think about all humans, not just a way to parent a challenging child." There is no magic formula that's certain to work every single time. Every child is different, every outburst is different. I want to spark an idea that could work beautifully for your son. Let's imagine your child desperately wants pizza for supper. Or maybe it's his favorite cereal, or ice cream. Whatever it is, you don't have any. Immediately he starts yelling, "But I want it!" And what do we naturally say? We don't have any. But I want it. I want it. We don't have any more. Back and forth it goes. Neither one of you is feeling heard. The atmosphere keeps getting heavier. But what if, instead of matching the intensity, you matched it with play? It might sound something like this. "Ooh, I would love to get you some pizza. Let's check the freezer." You open the freezer. Nope. Maybe it's hiding in the cupboard. Still nothing. Then you look completely shocked. Can you imagine if our freezer was so full of pizza we couldn't even shut the door? What if there were pepperoni pizzas, cheese pizzas, taco pizzas, breakfast pizzas, pizza for breakfast, lunch, and supper? Use your imagination. Use your biggest expressions. Be dramatic, be silly. Now notice something. I never argued with him. I never told him he was wrong for wanting pizza. I acknowledged what he wanted. Then I invited him in somewhere emotionally different. Instead of standing across from him in a battle, I stepped beside him in his imagination. Sometimes that's enough to interrupt where things are heading. Now, will it always work? Like in any relationship, there is no one-size-fits-all. Some days your son is already too overwhelmed. His nervous system is simply too overloaded, and that's okay. This is definitely not about getting it perfect. It's about having another option you can gently try. If you're feeling overwhelmed and unsure what to do next, I'd love to support you. During a one-to-one meltdown strategy session, we'll look at what's happening beneath your son's explosive behavior and create a practical plan that's tailored specifically to your family. Go to bit.ly/meltdown-session to book your call. So that's bit.ly/meltdown-session. I'd love to come alongside you and support you. I think sometimes we underestimate play because it feels too simple. We think, my child has explosive meltdowns. This situation really needs a big solution. But over 20 years, I've discovered something. Sometimes the biggest changes begin with the simplest things. Playful voice, a funny face, wonder instead of arguing, curiosity instead of control. Play has a way of lowering the temperature in the room. It does not ignore your child's feelings. Instead, it reminds them that the connection still exists, a place they can't quite get to on their own just yet. Now, I do want to add one important thought. If your son is already trying to hurt himself or someone else, safety always comes first. This isn't about forcing play into every situation. There will be times where he needs space or he needs quiet or simply needs you to stay nearby. That is perfectly okay too. The point isn't to copy exactly what I did. The point is to ask yourself, what helps my son feel safe enough to reconnect? Maybe it's humor, pretending, drawing together, getting outside, or singing. You get to become a student of your son. Experiment, be curious, and stay courageous. Even if one idea doesn't work, try another. Your relationship with your son, the connection you so want, is absolutely possible. Mama, one of the greatest gifts we can give our boys is letting them know that we're interested in keeping the relationship intact and close. Sometimes connection is playful. It could be even waiting out those hard moments. It could look like entering your son's world without expectation. And if you're listening and thinking, I wish I knew what would actually work for my son, I'd love to help. Your boy is wonderfully unique. Keep building connection with your son, one small moment or pizza at a time. Hey Mama, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If so, would you take 30 seconds and share it with a friend who may be on an uphill battle with her son's unique challenges? Also, please leave a quick review for the show on Apple Podcasts. It lights me up to know this podcast is helping you. All right, time to breathe and know that you have everything inside of you to courageously raise your brilliant son. I'll meet you back next week for another episode. Bye.